I'm making my daily foray into Chicago. Traffic crawling. June 25th, 2019, 1800 hours. So, this is what I've been thinking about today. There's a story out where they're trying to get kids to eat more salad. So some salad dressing company, and I don't know who it was, decided to change the name of salad dressing to salad frosting in the hopes that kids are, ooh, look, it's frosting for lettuce. Tasty. So we have a salad frosting going on right now with actors. And this is what it comes down to. This has to do with the Mueller report. It has to do with liberal outrage. I hate actors when they get political. And this is why. They play make-believe for a living. Normal people cannot go on a stage and pretend to be somebody else. Okay? It takes a special type of a person to do that. Some will say it's a gift or whatever, but the truth of the matter is, if you don't have a personality that's set to pretend to be somebody else or something else, you're not wired quite like everybody else, right? I mean, it's the truth. So let's take these. Ever since Trump won, you have seen Hollywood have a freaking meltdown. They went crazy. I mean, it started right away. Madonna saying, "Oh, I wish I could blow up the White House." You had, they all got something to say. These people that you want to like them because you like them as an actor, and then they start pontificating their stupid political beliefs, which are always bullshit, because they have this liberal mind that it's about as sharp as a basketball. So this is what they've done. They started to bitch right away as soon as Trump got elected. They went crazy. And I remember there's a short period of time when the people who cast the electoral votes, I remember Martin Sheen and a half a dozen other grade B actors made some type of commercial saying that these electoral voters should do the right thing and not cast that vote for Trump. Do you remember that? I remember that. Well, Martin Sheen likes to do this kind of stuff. So about a week ago, Martin Sheen and Lawrence Fishburne and Rob Reiner and a half a dozen others made a commercial bitching and moaning, begging people to read the Mueller report. If you just read it. Well, they figure nobody's reading it, so they decided to have a live reading of the Mueller report, like it was a play. And John Lithgow takes the part of President Trump, and you got Kevin Kline, and you got half a dozen people in there. Oh, De Niro's another one of these jokers. A really good actor who I will never watch again because I see him as just some old man who's bitching and moaning, throwing the F word around because he thinks he's a tough guy, like in the playing a mobster. He's just the guy that pretends to be somebody else for a living. He plays make-believe and gets paid exorbitant amounts of money for it. So anyway, they have this reading of the Mueller report. Why do they do this? Because they want people to hear it. Because they think everybody should pick it up and read it for themselves, but nobody's doing that. So they figure if they act it out because they're celebrities and everybody's going to tune in to what they're doing because they're so special, that you're going to hear it for yourself and you're going to be outraged and you're going to demand Congress to impeach President Trump. Well, here's the deal. You can only impeach a president on what's called high crimes and misdemeanors. Now, what constitutes high crimes and misdemeanors? I don't know. I don't know. If you didn't commit, there was no crime committed because there was never anything to charge you with, because it was all about being a Russian agent. Don't we remember this? I mean, Maxine Waters, Congressperson Maxine Waters, is running around screaming all day long, I know the evidence for this man, and we need to impeach 45. Well, there was nothing to impeach him for in regards to Russia. I mean, they kind of know this now. So now what they want to do is obstruction of justice. I didn't read the Mueller report. I have no desire to read it because it's bullshit. And basically, why the obstruction of justice is going on one thing. Trump is having conversations with cabinet members about this, and he's outraged about it. Any of us would be. Any person that's falsely accused of something is going to be pissed off. And he's trying to figure out what his options are to stop the foolishness. Any single one of us, any person is listening to me, if you're falsely accused of something, you try to find a way to fight back. You do. This is what human beings do. It's human nature. I found myself in the end of a $40,000 lawsuit of malicious intent where there was none whatsoever. None whatsoever. I spent 3 years in court over it. It cost me $5,000 in attorney fees, and it ended up costing me $1,200 to settle because I didn't want to deal with going to court again. And the person who claims they won ran around spreading lies about me into the entire neighborhood, making up stories. And you get pissed off about that stuff. You really, really do. And you want to fight back. There's nothing wrong with that. And you try to look at your options, and you talk to people. What are my options? You talk to a lawyer. What are your options? This is what Trump did. That's what he did. That's all he did. So now, because he talked about what can I do, they want to charge him with talking about doing something about it. This is stupidity. It's stupidity. And I think normal Americans, we all realize this, but you have a whole bunch of messed up, jacked up. I can't say anything good about them. I mean, there's nothing good about them. And this is what ticks me off about actors. They think they are so important. They think that they have so much influence, that they're loved by so many people, that they can sway people to think like they do. And that's what they do. Think about this. Oh, remember Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp saying maybe it's about time an actor assassinated a president again. What kind of stupid comment is that? A disgruntled Confederate shot Lincoln. Okay? And trying to reignite the Civil War in his mind with a bunch of little co-conspirators thinking that people would rally behind it. But that's what this is. It's the same stupid thinking. They think they're so important. They think that they are so special. They think they are, above everybody else. They're full of shit. You know what? Stop paying attention to them. Shut up and act. That's how I look at it. We don't want to hear what you got to say politically. Shut up and act. Shut your pie hole, as somebody would say, and do your job. But this is what happens. When one of them decides that they're going to do this stupid stuff, I don't want anything to do with them again. I don't want to hear them. I'm not going to contribute a dime to them making any money. I'm not going to go see your movies. I'm not going to watch you on TV. I'm not going to do any of that because I don't want to hear the stupidity that comes out of your mouth because you showed your ass. And that's how I feel about actors in politics. I have a lot of respect for the ones that say, I'm not going there. And I saw an interview with Dolly Parton, the reporter was trying to goad her into saying something, and she wouldn't do it. And you know what? That is some wisdom. That is some real wisdom there. Maybe she doesn't like Trump. Maybe she's got some things that, she keeps personally or amongst her family or friends, and that's fine. But she's smart enough to know if I open my mouth, a lot of my fans are going to get pissed off because they might be like me and say, I am not listening to you. I'm not buying another record. I'm not listening to anything you say. I'm not going to your theme park. I am not bothering with you anymore. And in a lot of this stuff with these idiots, it's virtue signaling. All these stupid words you got to pick up now because of liberals, it just makes me want to puke. You can't even live your life anymore. But don't pay any attention to these people. Just remember, actors play make-believe for a living. Actors essentially lie for a living. Think about this. They pretend to be something they are not. And they're so efficient at it that they can play all kinds of crazy things. They can play a mass murderer. They can play a hero. Think about it. You wouldn't want to trust anybody like that, would you? If somebody is such a good liar that you could believe, like they got a personality disorder? Which personality are you dealing with today? We praise these people because they make us think that they're something that they're not. Let's use somebody like an example of John Wayne. People are going to have no clue. John Wayne is always going to be seen as like a cowboy. Rough, tough, no-nonsense speaking cowboy, because he was kind of typecast in that, because he played so many of those parts. Who's another person like that? Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood always plays some kind of tough cop, right? So he's been typecast in that role. They're not really those people. They're not really that. That's not them. John Wayne is not a cowboy. Clint Eastwood is not some tough cop. Robert De Niro is not a gangster. He's not. But he's played those parts so well that you think he is. And they are those things. They lie for a living. Don't. Just shut up and act. That's all I got to say. To all of you stupid Hollywood, you cannot identify with any of us people that have to work for a living and pay bills. We don't live in mansions on hills in gated communities and private security. We don't have that luxury. But you want to get up there and lecture us on our lives, owning guns, about abortion, about who we should vote for. Shut the hell up and act. God, you guys suck.